Hello and welcome back to Defy Aging. This is Coach Allison, and we're in week 15, I believe. I always forget to look at the number, but I think it's 15. This week we are back to circuits, one circuit on the turf. There's 7 exercises, and for 3 rounds, each round is going to have a 30-second rest. The rest time is going to be consistent. What's going to change is the work time. So round 1 is going to be short and sweet at 20 seconds on, 30 seconds off. Round 2 is going to be 30 on, 30 off, and round 3 is going to be 40 on, 30 off. So kind of increasing that work time as we go through each round. All right, 7 exercises. Of course, a team builder at the end. Let's get right to the demo. Okay, exercise or station 1 is a wall sit. It's been quite a few weeks since we've done one of these. So you can start by leaning into the wall. You actually want your feet to be out a pretty good distance from the wall. Something like a hair, sorry. Because as you sink down, if your feet are too close to the wall and we don't move that position of the feet, the knees end up sticking out way farther forward than the feet. And we don't want that. That's tons of pressure on the knees. So instead, we want to have the ankle and knee be perfectly straight up and down from one another. So that being said, step out a little bit. And then as I go down, I'm actually going to step my feet out even more because I've just done this so many times. I know pretty much exactly where they need to be to line up right. But, you can kind of eyeball it and change your footing if needed. So now I'm at the bottom of my wall sit. I'm holding thighs parallel to the floor. That's pretty low. So you stop it wherever it feels like it's a good challenge level for those thighs for you. But I notice how my ankle and my knee are straight up and down from one another. My feet aren't like way back here. Keep your back fully pressed into the wall, so none of this. Also, try hard not to brace yourself here like this. Try to go hands-free for the last few seconds. If you need to kind of do that brace just to get through those few seconds, that's fine. You're still engaging those muscles. You're kind of giving yourself just a little bit of assistance. Okay, so that one is you're fully in control of how difficult it is by how low you go into your wall sit. Station 1. Station 2 is bird dog, so core focus with a lot of stability. So there's a couple different ways to do this. We're going to alternate sides with each rep, so you don't have to switch sides in the middle. There's a couple of ways, and they're all correct, but this is how we'll do it this week. So you're on your hands and knees, knees right under hips, so you're not too far back like this, and hands right under shoulders, so you're not too far forward like this. Okay, when you're doing this, I'm probably going to look up to look at you at the camera, but when you're doing this, I want you to keep your eyes just gazing straight down. We don't want to droop the head, but we also don't want to look up. So what you're going for is a straight neck and spine. So like a straight line from the back of your head to your hips. Okay, and we raise one arm and the opposite leg. Try to get a nice full extension. So we're trying to avoid kind of a half lift like this. So really squeeze straight, pause for a moment, come down, switch sides, pause for that moment. So we want this to be slow and controlled. That little pause is great to kind of solidify or the contraction and the balance, and ensure that we have that balance instead of just kind of doing fast like this, where you don't really have to balance that. You're kind of just relying on speed to get you through it. So pause for that 1 second. That makes it your body positive that it has the balance. You might do a little tipping like this, and that's okay. Totally fine if we are not getting onto the floor. Very simple alternative option here. Hands on a bench. And we do the exact same thing. Okay, so that is our bird dog station. Let's give it a try. Next station is a mini band abduction. It's a hip thing, or you could call it like a leg lift if you wanted to as well. So I have the mini band already around sort of my mid shin. That's where we want it. Coaches might want to put a bench or a chair near their station if anyone would like to sit to put the band on and take it off, just because it's a little tricky with the balance trying to do it, standing. Anyways, that's just a side note. You can use a wall for balance. I don't want balance to be a focus of this exercise. I just want to isolate and work on that hip. So feel free to use something for balance. Even though my balance is pretty strong, I still like to use something just to kind of brace myself a little. What we're going to do is raise that leg out to the side. Okay? So what we don't want to do is tip this way to try to get the leg higher. So don't do that. Keep your body really still. And you should feel the tension in this hip/glute, kind of hip flexor, all this stuff here. This one's really easy to switch sides. If you're not using something for balance and you're just kind of, again, I think it's better to use something for balance so you just don't have any of this. But anyways, Either way, if you're not using something for balance, all you have to do is switch legs at the halfway point, of course. But if you are using something for balance, just turn around really quick and then start that other leg. Okay, so that's our mini band abduction station. All right, next station is triceps. We had some isolated biceps the last couple of weeks with some curls. So let's kind of work the opposite side of the arms and work the triceps. We've done this one quite often, maybe even a few weeks ago. So some gyms might be using their cable setup. The cable machine is the thing that looks like this. I don't know if whatever. I like the bands better. They're a little smoother, and you don't have to worry about like changing the pin of the weight from one person to the next, but your coach might, it's going to be up to them. The movement is the same, however. I like to stagger my stance. That's just my own preference. Keep your shoulders down. Your palms are facing forward to start. So you're starting like this. Elbows stay in your side. We press down and let the elbows bend up, down, up. Try to get a full extension at the bottom. If we're stopping here, the band is too heavy, so go to a lighter band, or you can even step a little bit closer. Like if you're way back here, you can step a little closer, and that relieves a little of the tension. But we want that full extension. It's not a safety issue, but getting the full extension is where you get the most benefit. It's actually the last few inches of the movement where you're getting that final little contraction, which is really important. So we want the full range of motion, so keep that in mind. Looking from the front, elbows stay into your side, so we're not coming out like this. Let's see what else. We don't shrug the shoulders for compensation, so make sure that's not happening. Instead, keep the shoulders down. And there you go. You should feel the backs of those arms pretty good. Let's hit those triceps. Next station is a cardio station. It's pretty tricky. It's called a scissor jump. It's kind of the opposite of jumping jacks. So jumping jacks are sideways. This is going to be like front and back. So I don't know the best way to explain it, so I will just jump right in. Pun intended. So you start with a staggered stance, and then we are going to switch legs in the air while we're in our jump. Scissors or crisscross or whatever you want to say. So I'm going pretty fast. You don't have to go that fast. You can take it one jump at a time and then maybe pause for a moment more like this. Jump, 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 if that's, a good starting point. Now, if we are unable to do any impact, I think the best thing to do is a quick forward and back step. So forward, back. You're kind of more running then. Forward, back, because we want the agility work and we want the cardio. So I think that's a great alternative. But yeah, let's give that a try. It's kind of a different way to get some jumps, some plyometrics, and some cardio. Next is Superman. Haven't done this one for a while. On the floor, on your stomach, and your arms are out and your legs are out. Excuse me. And again, I'm going to look up to talk to you, but when you are doing this, I want you to keep your head down. So again, same as the bird dog, we keep that neutral / flat, straight neck and spine. So we don't want to be kinking up like this with the spine, and we don't want to be drooping. So you just kind of keep looking straight down in front of your forehead. But anyways, we are lifting the lower body and the torso as much as you can. So it's a very small movement. The more you're able to get your chest off the floor, like way up here, the more, mid and lower back you're engaging and squeezing. So right now, if anyone is, kind of small like this, barely getting off the floor, that's fine. That's okay. You get as high as you can. And then we just, over time, get our back stronger and stronger. And typically, sometimes it's an anatomy thing. Everyone's body is a little bit different. So some people might not have the flexibility to get super high. Typically, though, it's more of a strength issue. So as we get stronger, we're able to lift up a little higher. But you just get as high as you can. Again, we're not doing this with the head. So don't let the head, that's going to get you dizzy. It's going to feel yucky. It's not good for your spine. So just keep the neck neutral. Get that lift. It's very challenging. It's harder than it looks. If anyone is unable to get to the floor, I think all the gyms have a low back extension. So that can be wheeled into the space, and the coaches will show you how to do that. It's a little apparatus that you just kind of sit in. You're supported here, and you lean down, and you come back up. It works your mid and lower back exactly the same way. If that machine is either unavailable or not able to come into the space, I think deadlifts would be a good alternative. I know it's very, very different, but it gets more legs, but it does work that posterior chain, which is similar to Superman. So that would be kind of a last resort. But yeah, Superman Station, couple other alternatives, and let's work that back. Okay, final station is a double arm farmer's carry. We've done this one recently as well. Let's use dumbbells this week. I know sometimes we use kettlebells, sometimes we use dumbbells. It does there neither one is superior or better. It's really just different distributions of weight, so it just feels a little bit different when you're carrying it, and that's some variety. But anyways, we'll use dumbbells this week. Pick nice challenging weights. The more challenging weight you have, the more it's going to improve your grip, your stability, and everything, of course. Um, and I want you to picture stuff that you might, it's getting to be that spring, summertime. So probably some yard work and extra stuff outside. And there's some heavy things we need to lift and lug around for that kind of work. So let's get that functional movement stronger. Pick your weights, take your shoulders kind of up and then down and back. So you're rolling them down and back for posture. And then we go for a controlled walk. That is it. We're not going for speed. I recommend slower is actually better because you can control those weights better. Try not to let the arms be shaken all around. So again, pick a challenging weight. It's really hard to get injured on this exercise if you go too heavy. If it's too heavy, you just put them, your grip is, you're like, oh, this is heavy, and you put them down. Because we're not curling them, we're not pressing them, we're not squatting with them. We are just holding them. And this is a great opportunity to get your body more accustomed to some heavier weights. All right, let's give it a try. And the team builder, back to some slam ball action. So we've done this before. I think at this point, we've pretty much done everything at some point. It's a medicine ball slam to a lateral pass. So I am by myself, so it doesn't really get the good picture, but everyone will be lined up facing the same way. So we would all be facing this same direction. People would be to my left and to my right. When the ball comes to you, you're going to slam it 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. And then you be a little, be like arm's distance away from the person next to you. So you're going to do a lateral pass. So kind of get that down here and throw it over here. They're going to catch it. They're going to do their 3 reps. Then they're going to lateral pass it to the person next to them and so on. We'll go down. If you have a big group of 12, maybe down and back once. If you have a smaller group of 3 or 4, maybe down and back for a total of 60 seconds. I'll let your coach kind of decide how to go about the logistics of that. But the movement, that's what we're going to do. I think that's a fun one, so enjoy it. That wraps it up. So that is week 15. Again, I think that's correct. Back to circuits. Hope you enjoyed these exercises this week, and we'll see you back next week.